I keep running across content about who's black and who's not. And I feel like we as a people need to get our fucking minds right in regards to what an African phenotype is or what it's not, and understanding how that phenotype has been bastardized through one of the greatest smear campaigns in all of history called white supremacy or white narcissism. A lot of people's understanding of what it means to look black, especially in America, is based off of a primarily Western African phenotype, and not just a Western African phenotype, but a highly stereotyped West African phenotype brought to you by colonialism. A lot of our understanding of who we are as people, our noses, our body shapes, how we carry our weight, a lot of that is literally based on how white people viewed us and how white people stereotyped us for a very, very long time. So when we have this conversation about who's black and who's not, black is a racial category created by white Europeans solely for the designation of dark-skinned, primarily African people, so that they could justify the brutalization and torture of those people. That's what black is. Our genome comes from the continent. We all know at this point life originated from Africa. Even the whites have come to terms with this, but they haven't come to terms with what that may actually mean. Because a lot of you are looking at black people and you're saying that they have a European phenotype or an Asian phenotype. That is not the case. We do not look like those people. We do not look like Asians. We do not look like European. Those people look like us. And what I mean by that is every fucking phenotype you can find on this goddamn planet, you can find on that continent somewhere at some time. Don't at me. Even the light skin tone, you can find the genes for that skin tone. And I believe the Khoisan people primarily in the southern portion of Africa. Now, the Europeans want you to believe that somehow the Dutch, this white genome entered their genome as a separate and distinct entity because of European colonization. They can believe that bullshit all the fuck you want. I don't. And the reason I don't is primarily because white people lean into the racism first when it comes to science. Science is very racist, very sexist too. And I'm not taking a lot of their theories as the gold standard anymore. I'm not saying that they're necessarily wrong. I'm just simply saying that I'm not of the belief system that they're right. I'm not going to believe a lot of the things that they say. You're not going to convince me that somehow these Dutch people traveled thousands of years ago. Like, because the Khoisan, from my understanding, is one of the oldest people on the fucking planet. You mean to tell me that one of the oldest people on the fucking planet have a white genome and it just so happened to come from a bunch of Dutch? That doesn't make any fucking sense. Anyway, but that's what white people want to believe. I don't believe that shit. When you consider the sheer genetic diversity that exists inside not just one continent, not just one country, but even between ethnic groups, stop saying that we look like these motherfuckers when these motherfuckers look like us. That's it. And your implications of what is black and what is not, especially when it comes to phenotype, we really gotta get a hold on what that is and what that actually means. Because some of you don't even want to acknowledge your African heritage, which is fine. Go be weird by yourselves. But for those of you who acknowledge your African heritage, please understand that a lot of your concepts around your phenotype and what you look like as a person from that continent is not, it's based on racist ass white people's understanding of you. This constant conversation about who looks like, a white person and who has what hair texture and all this other shit. Again, there is nothing in the phenotype of the human Homo sapien that you're not going to find on that fucking continent. The genome for a white skin is found inside that continent. It is found inside African peoples. And I really want us to understand that, because the sheer genetic diversity that we have inside of our own bodies is fucking massive. They haven't mapped the entire human genome, by the way. They've only really mapped the white genome. The Asian genome is larger than their genome. And our genome is the largest of all three. So at least when it comes to diversity. So I'm simplifying things, I know. But I'm only saying this because I am tired of this conversation about blackness and about who gets to be included in the group when a lot of our understanding of what that even is based off of literally fucking racism. And a lot of this shit we gotta unlearn and undo. Thank you for coming to my weird ass TED Talk.